Hello students, welcome to this video tutorial on Monster Truck Part 2. Alright, so we have opened our file, Monster Truck. In the first video, we created the overall shape for our monster truck. Now, we're going to do the most exciting part, is that we're going to create the monster wheels. Alright, let's begin. Now we have a little bit of experience doing this from our mini car, but this one's going to be a little bit more complicated because there are more steps involved. So let's click on the circle tool. Alright, now remember when we created this bottom part where it went below the ground, and I said that this is to kind of hold the wheels? Remember, in a monster truck, the wheels are huge. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start our circle in this corner, in the bottom corner here. Now that's a really good point to remember because it's easy to remember because it's right there in the corner. So remember, we click once and we let go of the mouse button. You are not holding the mouse button down, and I want you to gently, slowly pull your mouse outwards. Do not click the mouse button a second time. Then I want you to type in, using your keyboard, 60 cm. 60 cm, 60 centimeters, and hit enter. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the wheels one at a time. So now I want to use the orbit tool and slightly look at this wheel from the back. I want to click on the push-pull tool. I want to click on this portion of the wheel here that sticks down below the ground. I want to click once, do not hold the mouse button, and I want you to start pushing in very slowly. Remember, your finger is not on the mouse button. Now let go of the mouse and type in 40 cm, 40 cm, and hit enter. Okay, so now we see what we've done here. We've pushed the wheel in so that it is 40 centimeters thick. But in a monster truck, the wheel also sticks out away from the body of the truck. So I want you to click on the push-pull tool again. This time click on the same spot on the part of the wheel that sticks below the ground. Click once, do not hold the mouse button down, and this time I want you to start pulling outwards very slowly and type in 15 cm and hit enter. Alright, so if you've done it right, you should kind of have this weird kind of step here. Alright, we're going to take care of that right now. I'm going to use my orbit tool and slightly look at it from an angle, a different angle. And then I'm going to click on the push-pull tool. Now I'm going to click on this portion of the wheel or the tire, and I'm going to click once. Do not hold the mouse button down, and I'm going to start pulling outwards very slowly. Now remember, you're not going to click a second time. I want you to type in 15 cm and then hit enter. 15 cm and hit enter. Now the whole tire is sticking out away from the truck. You see that? Okay, so I'm going to use my orbit tool and I'm going to look at my truck directly from the side. Now let's go back to the circle tool. I'm going to click once again on the center. Remember that it's easy to remember because it's at the corner of the truck, of the bottom of the truck. I'm going to click once and I'm going to let go of my mouse button. I'm going to slowly pull outwards, and then I want to type in 30 cm, 30 cm. Hit enter. Okay. Now I want to click on this point again, the center of our circles. I'm going to click once and I'm going to let go of my mouse button. I'm going to slowly pull outwards and I'm going to type in 5 cm and hit enter. Okay. All right. Now, I use the orbit tool so I can look at the wheel a little bit from the side. I'm going to click on the push-pull tool. I'm going to click on this portion of the wheel. It's kind of like the rim. I'm going to click once, do not hold the mouse button down, and I'm going to start pushing inwards very slowly. And I want you to type in 25 cm and hit enter. Now, let's get the other part of the rim here, this kind of quarter circle here. Let's click once, do not hold the mouse button down, and slowly push in and type in 25 cm, 25 cm, and hit enter. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the magnifying glass, the zoom tool. I'm going to place the magnifying glass right here on the inner hub, and then using the mouse wheel, I'm going to zoom in slowly. Okay. Now let's go back to the push-pull tool. Let's click now on this hub here. I'm going to click once, do not hold the mouse button down, and slowly push inwards. Do not click the mouse a second time. Type in 30 cm, 30 cm, and hit enter. Then I want to click on this portion here, and I want to push in slowly and type in 30 cm. Okay? All right, so this inner hub now should be inside this hub. So we have 3 levels here. Okay? All right. So last, what we want to do is we want to get rid of these lines that kind of cut up our tire. So I want to click on the pointer tool. The pointer tool. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to carefully position my pointer tool on this line to start with. And I'm going to right click. Remember, the mouse has 2 buttons, a left button, which we always use, and then a right button for special functions. So I want you to right click, and then I want you to choose hide. And then when you see hide, I want you to left click using the normal button. Okay? All right. Now, that hides that line. It doesn't delete it, it just hides it. Now, let's do the same thing. Let's right mouse button click this line, and then left click hide. So we're using both buttons. Let's do the same thing for this line. Right click, and then left click hide. Now, let's have a look at the lines inside the wheel, and let's do the same thing. Let's right click on this line and choose hide. Let's right click on this line and choose hide. Left click on hide. Let's right click on this line and left click on hide. Let's right click on this line and left click on hide. Right click on this line, left click on hide. Now, if I use my orbit tool, I could find some other lines here. So I'm going to go back to my pointer tool, right click on this line, hide. Right click on this little line here, left click, hide. Right click on this line, left click, hide. Now if I use my orbit tool, I can see that there is another line on the outside of the tire here. So let's go back to the pointer tool, right click, and then left click, hide. All right, I'm going to use my orbit tool, and I'm going to look around for any other lines that I can hide. Well, here's one right here. So I'm going to go back to my pointer tool, right click, and I'm going to choose hide. There we go. Now, if I orbit around, are there any other lines that I can hide? No, that's a pretty clean looking wheel. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the zoom tool, and I'm going to place my magnifying glass somewhere in the middle of the truck, and then I'm slowly going to use the wheel and I'm going to zoom out. So that's what we've created. We've created the first wheel. It has a lot of steps, but we'll have a lot of practice because we'll get to create it 3 more times. So let's go up to File and let's save. All right, this concludes the second video on Monster Truck. Thanks for watching, and you can start the next one. Bye.